Hi and welcome to all the racing enthusiasts around the globe joining us for this preview, pre-recorded. We are recording very early on Tuesday morning. So the last day of 2024, the 31st, and then we'll move into the 1st of January, Wednesday, 2025. Joining me in studio is Dees Dynand for the last preview of the year. Firstly, Dees, how are you doing? And it's absolutely amazing how the time has flown by.
Yeah, things are okay, Sheldon. I trust the racing fans are all well. And yeah, talking about time, well, time waits for nobody. That is how you have to sum it up, because if I can remember the year, I could just remember the Hollywoodbets Durbanville July the other day, and that was back in July. And now we're in peak season of Cape Town, the Western Cape. We're leading up to the World Sports Betting Cape Met. And once we hit the World Sports Betting Cape Bet, which is just around the corner, then it's the end of January, and we're full swing into 2025. But it'll be nice to, possibly end of the year on a high. It's our last meeting, and it's back to back because we race on the 1st as well.
Well, hopefully we come through and we get some money on the day. And then just on a lighter note, talking about time flying, I got two young daughters and they said, "What do you mean time flies?"
Yeah,
so
sure.
I took a watch and I threw the watch. I said, "Now you can see time flies."
Sure. But race number one, Sheldon, let's get straight into it. It's the start of the bipod. It will begin at 12:55 over 1,000 meters. And as it says, Gold Circle wishes you a happy new year. It is the 1st of January 2025, and nice to kick the year off here in KZN. We'll bring up the field, we'll have a look at some betting that we've jotted down, and let's have a look at it. Yeah, at the time of recording this was the fixed odds market. Number one, World of Hope at 11-2, Atandiwem Goodla and Alison Wright. Horse number 3, Abaddon, coming off a long break, 15-10. Then we got number 4, Cadaver at 11-2. This first timer called Gorgeous Bomb is trading at 15-2, and another first timer from the Paul Lafferty stable, number 6, Dead of Night at 7-1. So the betting does tell the story about this first timer, Gorgeous Bomb, and of course number 3, Abaddon. The only information that I have about this 4-year-old who was last seen on the 27th of September 2023 is the comment in the computer form, coming off a long layoff of an injury, but the Mike Miller Yard quick to say that the horse is working well. So, fitness-wise, they've given us the green light, but nevertheless, it is a long layoff, Sheldon, number 3, Abaddon. So all depends on how ready the horse is.
That's what bothers me a little bit when you look at number 3, Abaddon, the excuse here, or the bled suspended.
Correct.
So when a horse bleeds, they usually get a 90-day suspension, a 3-month suspension, depending on the bleeding. This horse is coming off one long break.
Yeah.
So there could have been other injuries after that. We're not exactly 100% sure. So this is a race where you're going to have to watch number 3, Abaddon, who's shown the potential, see him in the ring, watch him go down to the start. But the way the Mike Miller horses are running, wow.
And
boy,
the
oh boy.
combination, Tristan is full
Unbelievable, lethal at the moment.
He got it right over the weekend, though.
Twice.
So, yeah,
With the babies.
Yeah, he got it right. At least his
He got
first.
the monkeys off his back.
Yeah, he's been off the mark with the choices, and I did listen into that interview, where he was mentioning the slack that he's been getting, and it's racing. These are young horses, so I hear where he was coming from. This horse, number 5, Gorgeous Bomb. We just had a chat with Alison and Kevin Wright off air. We put Alison and Kevin on speakerphone, Sheldon now, before coming on air. And the word is this, that she is a very nice filly. Whatever happens with this run, it's certain to bring her on. They're of the opinion back home that they think she'll need the run, but then on assessing the lack of opposition, that's the way Kevin put it. He says, you know what? They may have found the right type of field to see her being competitive. So it wouldn't be a surprise, it'll be a bonus if she does win. But they are expecting a good run on her work back home. He said, have a good look at her in the ring. You'll see that, there's plenty to work with. She's a bit heavy, on his opinion, and she can strip much fitter. But when we assess the opposition, the only other horse that, really appeals is the horse coming off the long break. And that horse has got excuses, and that horse has got concerns. So I'm actually leaning towards this first timer.
Yes, there is a little bit of talk for the first timers, so you've got to give healthy respect. But as you mentioned, we chatted to Kevin and Alison Wright, and if the horse is in a good space and the rest of the field don't bring their A game, she could very well make a winning debut. And the fact that Gavin Arena has been engaged to ride her could be significant. And then the other run I want to chat about is a horse who cost me quite a bit last time, number 4, Cataval.
Sure.
I thought putting the 4 kilograms off, quick horse, I thought he was going to go to the front and stay there. Went 5-6 lengths clear coming to the 600.
Went too quick.
Went far too quick on that occasion. A horse could never finish off those fractions. Back down to 1,000, opened up 7-1. I had a small little go at 7-1. Can't be overconfident. I've spoken to Tony Riverton on a couple of occasions, and he said the horse hasn't got the will to win, hasn't really got the heart, so throws in the towel. But maybe the new year, new things.
Yeah, when it comes to experience, Catavar has it. The speed in the race will be dominated by Catavar. 1,000 meters could be ideal. So if you're looking for cover in the bar pot, I think number 4, Catavar, has to go in. But we'll have to summarize your race number 1. I'm going to look at it like this. Abaddon, if ready, massive runner. Good comments from the yard coming off a break. The first timer looks to be a very progressive filly regardless of the results, bumping the right type of field, and Catavar with the speed in the race. So I'm going to go 5, 3 and 4.
There we go. 5, 3 and 4 in race number 1, the first race of the new year. Well, the place accumulator will begin at an odd time on New Year's Day, 13:28. So don't be caught napping if you want to play the PA. It's not 13:30, it's 13:28. It's over 1,600 meters. And you can open a tab account on 031 314 1874. Very user friendly. Once you get onto the tab account, you can play all your bets there, including bets from around the globe and, of course, the soccer, which is very popular now. We'll bring up the field, which is on screen now, just as a guide. The betting, number 2, Lava Burst at 7-1. Number 5, Sovereign Command, who's having his second run as a gelding. That is trading at 8-1, and it's got the blinkers on with the claim 4. That may keep you interested. But the 2 horses that dominate the betting, number 6, Flying Hafler at 8-10, the filly, and number 7, Prince Florian at 18-10 of the 3-year-old gelding. I'm going to say this is the exacta play of the day, whether you're going to play it box between 6 and 7, or you're going to go with your fancy for first and then the next horse for second. This looks like the exact. I would rather play the exacta than go 8-10, number 6, Flying Hafler. Well, I've made it very clear in the entire career. Odds-on favourites and me don't go well together because you've got to back a whole host of them. You've got to back 7 out of 10 to win to make a profit. And at these type of prices, I often say to the guys, either find, like you say, an exacta, a swinger. If you're going to play a double,
the outlay is too much for the gain. I mean, the risk is too much for the gain. And that's the way I put it. When I chat to the guys, I just say, I mean, the outlay to what you're going to return. Yes, it's a win bet. I understand that. But, I mean, you are playing on a budget. We all are.
100%.
And you're looking to try and maximize your budget. You'd rather take places at those odds than wins. That's the way I put it.
100%, because with the odds-on favourites, like we mentioned, if you back 10 of them, you need 7 of them to win. If 4 or 5 of them get beat, even if maybe 3 or 4 get beat,
the whole becomes
price,
bigger.
100%. Then you got to start shopping around and you become a little bit desperate in that. So for me, 8-10, I believe this horse will go 14, 15 to 10 race time. That's just my opinion. I think number 7, Prince Florian, shortened 18-10, and I think this is going to be a tough nut to crack. Taking on the filly and looking at Serena Moodley jumping aboard, rode last time behind Star of the Future. Back on the turf, 1,600 meters. I'm quite strong on number 7, Prince Florian.
Yeah, I think he really likes the turf more than he's performed on the poly track, which has been the one run. And my opinion is that he's needed experience. I think this horse has just been, the lack of confidence at the races. Now that he's had 3 runs, all have been at this track, 1 at the poly. His last start behind Star of the Future, he was slow away that day. And if you can see the number of lengths that he was slow away and how green he was, considering to where he finished behind Star of the Future, there's plenty to work with. And I'm going to be with Sheldon. I think both himself and I like number 7, Prince Florian. The filly, she has to be respected. She runs well. You'll get another honest run from her. She gets her 6 allowance in this open maiden. So 6 and 7 going to be the play. Box exactors if you don't like number 7 or 7 by 6. Then I mentioned it's an open maiden. What you make of this horse, Dynasty's Last? Because she keeps grabbing my attention for trifectas and quartets with that low mass.
Yes, this could be a horse that could be included, tried and tested, has the experience, knows exactly what to do, and with 53.5 kilograms on the back, could be quite dangerous. And number 5, Sovereign Command, they're throwing everything at this fella.
Yes.
Yogesh Govender, when I had a chat to him earlier on, he said it's a horse who shows a lot of ability, but he's just been one of those horses who's never produced. They're now going the blinkers, the tongue tie, the apprentice, the mile. So this is probably the last chance to do.
Yeah, and he's having his second run after gelding, which they've gelded him when it was on the 15th of this October. So race number 2, summarizing, first leg of the place accumulator. I think you can go either or 6 or 7 for the PA, but I'd like to just put numbers 6 and 7 and then double up, and it is the exacta play of the day. Race number 2, either in the camp of 7 or 6, but the way we see it, 7 to beat 6.
As we move on to the next hurdle, which will be race number 3, the Gallop TV YouTube channel, Class 4, Fillies and Mares Handicap over 1,600 meters. And race number 3, this is Deez's bet, the pick 6, the big one, race number 3, and it's over 1,600 meters. Now let's just have a look. I think there is a scratching in the race. Having a look this morning, you can take out number 7, Safari Lodge.
Is that gone?
That is 2 gone. I've just had a look about 10 minutes ago, and number 7, Safari Lodge, is a casualty. So that'll be 1 less runner here.
We don't have an hour for this race because we can't talk for an
100%. We'll get down to the business, selections,
Yeah, sure.
and I'm going to go with a 16-1 shot now. Open up 20-1. Number 2, Alpha Betty, 590 days since last winning. Now this is a merit dropper down to a 72, was once upon a time a 90, and I just believe that she's far better than her form suggests. The pacifiers go on, and we were just chatting earlier on that she'd run behind some decent horses. Mary's Green Light.
Yeah,
That came through Flamboyant Stakes. Early on in her career, she took on some decent opposition. So what I'm going to say to the guys is 100%. So for me, the value, number 2, Alpha Betty, that's going to be my first selection. My second selection, number 5, She's a Machine. If she's ready, she just about wins.
I like that. I like that a lot.
She just about wins if she's ready. And then after that, you can pretty much take your pick. But for me, number 2, Alpha Betty, and number 5, She's a Machine, and then number 6, The Ghost.
2, 5, and 6 for Sheldon in the place accumulator. I agree with number 2. If ready first up for Garrett Van Zyl, massive runner on the rating drop. I'm going to tip number 5, She's a Machine, as my top choice. Willing to forgive her for a last start. Things went horribly wrong for her, and she ran accordingly. If she bounces back to a Beach Beauty mile run behind Care Forgot, I think she is the filly to beat. This horse, Ethereal View, we keep mentioning Mike Miller and Tristan Godden and how well they're doing. I think it'll be foolish to discount an informed stable and informed jock. Fire Burst from the Mike de Kock yard. They've got the young kid on, Sianda Sasibo is getting chances. The post-maiden form is not the worst. Keep an eye on 11, Ice Rain, if there's any support for her having a first run in the province. And then even Ginger Delight, Alison Wright's runner. I don't know what happened last time out, but the jockey reported something amiss with the horse, because when she came to the province and won first up with Dean Kannemeyer, she's now changed stables, now with Alison Wright, I thought that win was full of merit. So it's a complicated race. It's a race where you can make a case for a lot of horses. But I'm going to say this. If I look at the betting, with these horses. 3, Ethereal View at 9-2. 4, Ginger Delight at 7-1, along with numbers 5 and 6, all 7-1. And then this horse is priced up at 7-2, Wars Are Nowhere. Winning a maiden last time out, poorly drawn. Sheldon, I'm going to give you the form line, just for the guys not to be sucked in. There's been 10 runners from there, no winners, Wars Are Nowhere. And I personally think it's rather a jockey pricing up than the field, because this is highly competitive.
100% right. When you look at the field that this individual's taking on, you wouldn't think that should be favourite.
And the draw.
And the draw, there's a lot against her.
And the jockey plus a half.
100%. So the Christmas cake and the Christmas pudding's kicking in and that. So yeah, number 12, Wars Are Nowhere. Good luck if this comes through to win. When push comes to shove, race number 3. For me, number 2, Alpha Betty is the value at around 16-1. And both Dees and I agree that around 6 and 7-1. Number 5, She's a Machine. If she's ready, she just about wins.
Well, let's go race number 4, jackpot 1,800 meters, and we bring up the field. You need to get on. There's odd times here. You need to take note of the times, racing fans. 14:38, not 14:40, not 14:35. It's 14:38. 1,800 meters, jackpot 1. Field of 9 runners that will go to post. This is the way they're betting. Number 2, Bob, 11-2. Then we got number 5, Connoisseur, who's knocking hard on the door now, having watched that last start, 28-10, a further rating drop now to a 59. Number 7, Galaxy Explorer. Let me give you a form update. Ran 5th, finishing 4 lengths behind Mr. Hot Stepper. Number 8, Double Olympic. Serena Moodley will ride a horse that I think does not stay, Yogesh is trying a lot of things with this horse because he hasn't won for some time, but he just continues to slide one way in the ratings. And 9, King Bavarian, arguably the right horse on what he represents in black and white, the consistency of the horse. He'll be a popular choice in the place accumulator. I like 4 runners here, Sheldon, for the pick 6, and I'm not going to go past that. I think I'm safe with those 4 runners in numerical order: 5, 7, 8, and 9. But number 7, Galaxy Explorer, last time out it looked the right race. The way Tony Rivelin set this horse up with the claim for, I thought, front runner at the track, things will suit, but it never mapped out for the young kid. And they've now engaged the services of Gavin Larena. So the support was there last time out on course. I worked that day and I mentioned it to the guys everywhere I walked. The guys were backing the horse, number 7, the Galaxy Explorer. Gave the horse a mention on air, but it was not to be. Could it be on the first day of 2025?
I think it could be when it comes to race number 4, number 7, Galaxy Explorer. We both liked this individual last time out and didn't quite get the ride that it needed, and things didn't map out for him.
Expected it to be in front.
I expected him to be a lot handier up there. Dropped out of it and was slowly starting to get into it. But I think 7 Galaxy Explorer is going to be a different beast on the day, and with Gavin Larena aboard, you're going to get a huge run for your money. So race number 4, a very, very trappy event. Number 8, Double Olympic, don't overlook. This is a horse that we've been...
Wrong distance last time.
They've been experimenting, yes, 100%. They've been experimenting, cheek pieces, tongue tie, different distances. And just looking at the rating, down to a 64. A 10-1 for me, that's the value. Number 2, Bob. He's a horse who doesn't go down to the start that well. He gets a nice warm-up. He's going to be my second selection. And then after that, you pretty much, number 7, Galaxy Explorer, 8, Double Olympic, and number 2, Bob for me, with no degree of confidence. I've phoned a friend, I've gone 50-50, and then we're going to leave the rest to the audience.
Yeah, I think that is it. And those are the 3 lifelines that we have. And it's all used up here in one go. Race number 4.
As we step onto the gas, and hopefully all the punters will be ahead at this stage of the game as we go on to race number 5, and they'll be in a good place and playing for free. Looking at race 5, there are 2 early scratchings. Number 2, La Vida Loca, and also number 8, Roaming Spirit. So there's just 6 runners who will be taken down to the start. The betting says number 4, White Waters, 11 to 10, ideal opportunity to break the maiden jail. Number 5, Buttercup Baby, a very promising introduction. And this daughter of What a Winter is 22 to 10. And the number 1, Art Nouveau, who's becoming a little bit expensive to follow, and that is at 7 to 2. La Madalena is 5s, and it's 12 to 1, and better the rest. Now, D's, when you look at race number 5, there's only 6 runners going down to the 1400. To me, it looks to be a match between 4, White Waters, and number 5, Buttercup Baby. White Waters coming with the Cape Town form, some nice form lines there. 1.5 lengths behind Dark Winter earlier on, has run behind some fair individuals going through. Although having the 11th attempt, this could be the right time to strike for the winner's enclosure.
I think it's ours to beat. I think the fixed odds front has got this right. Those maiden form lines in Cape Town, I fancy, will be too strong. I'm just looking at some of the races that the horse has campaigned against of late with the average ratings. It could be far stronger than our local maiden form here. But whoever's working on the day, I appeal to them to try and get a comment from the Mike Miller yard. They're approachable, they're transparent to their comments. Because a horse like this, you'd like to need a comment. You know, how long the horse has been here, whether the horse is ready to win. Because Tristan Godden's, you know, his take on the race tells you what he feels. Because he's been riding Art Nouveau, who's got good form and good local form. And the fact that he's gone for this horse is that we're assuming that, because, you know, he did mention it to you over the weekend that it's a hard job for him, you know, choosing those youngsters. They got so many of them, and he is going to get it wrong, but he's hoping to get it right more than he gets it wrong. So when it comes to these race runners, he gets a good feel for them back home, and he's going to be on them. I'd actually go with a horse like this more than I'll go with his choice with the babies, because you got the experience, the form is there, you can work things out. So I'm going to go with Tristan's Godden choice here with number 4, Whitewater. I'm going to say that she looks hard to beat. I looked at the field, and there is lots of form to work around. This horse, La Vida Loca, I liked at the penultimate start when 16 to 1 for places.
Scratched.
Yeah, that's out.
Yeah.
Yo.
Number 2, La Vida Loca's out, and number 8, Roaming Spirit. Just having a look at the scratching.
You
so numbers
live. You live on your device.
numbers
well
2
done.
and 8. That's the thing with the show being pre-recorded.
Just keep
and
watching.
You got to keep it up to date in that, because as we talk.
Oh, that helps me a lot, because I was worried about that horse, because I liked that horse at the penultimate start when beaten by Wozanawa, and last time out I think didn't get the distance.
I can put you at rest now.
Oh,
Scratched.
I'm
so
relieved.
there we go.
That is it. All in now, number 4.
So there we go. After giving D's the heads up, number 4, White Waters. This is for the Gulf Racing Club Syndicate. Good friend of mine, Kurt Felix and the guys. And
Kurt's doing a lot for racing down in the Western Cape.
100%. Him and his dad, Grant, and that. They've been in the game for many years.
A lot of horses with this Gulf. A lot of horses.
We go back, I mean, must be 25 years when they had a Tattersalls in Hillcrest. 25 years or so.
So you were not with the Fresh Prince in Balhair?
The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, we went that side, we were in Hillcrest, we were all over with them.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're the whole team, Dean Heyman,
But who's your
Cornwalls,
favourite of all the Felixes?
all the Felixes.
Don't tell me it's Kurt or Grant. It has to be Craig.
Craig, unbelievable.
He's the man.
The brother,
Craig,
different
man.
class. He's got the chirp. He's got the tricks of the trade.
He's got the chirp, and he knows the tunes also. Hey, Craigie boy. You know the tunes, my boy. He knows the tunes.
He'll be on course probably to lead in Whitewaters.
Let's see. That's Craig. Yeah, he's got involved in a lot of horses.
Yes, 100% right. They're supporting the game in a big way, and hopefully they get rewarded here with number 4, Whitewaters. The only danger for me is number 5, Buttercup Baby. Second run after running 4th to a Grotto. That was a cracking introduction. If she makes the necessary improvement, the only danger for me to Whitewaters.
Okay, we're going to end this off with a quote from Craig Felix. Put this one in your equation. Our race number 6 is over 1,400 meters. It's the last pick 3 on the card. You need to get on by 15:50, 10 to 4, as we now go to the business end of the race meeting. We'll bring up the field, have a look at some betting. Number 1, Iron Will, 5 to 1. 2 Porfirio is at 2-1. 3 Brass Bell at 7-1. 4 Attaboy, that's at 5-1. 5 Crested Eagle at 7-1. Scratched is horse number 8, Brave Voyager. And Mac Hardy is at 7-2. So another race where I think if you try and survive with the minimum spend in any of your bets here, you would have done exceptionally well because you can get any type of result. This is a race that you want to try and play a quartet trifecta. If you get things right here, you'll get a good return. 3 runners for me, Sheldon. Number 1, Iron Will. I mentioned at that penultimate start when the horse was off form to see a more positive ride. It worked out that way, bounced back to form. Then last time out, for some reason or the other, they raced the horse in a 1200. He doesn't have the speed to go with sprinters. 1400, draw 1. Even though he's carrying 61, he's the best horse in the field with that rating. Tick for me in the pick 6. Porfirio, Gavin Larena, we know his record on the horse. He seems to get on exceptionally well with Com Naidu's runner. And then horse number 9, which is McHardy, Andre Nell, Platinum Racing. I think the horse is ready to run well. They've been racing the horse on the poly track the last 1, 2, 3, 4 runs. And I know that the horse has been racing well, but maybe the change of surface could be the answer. I'm going to just side with those 3 runners. Once I start looking past them, then horses like Crested Eagle grab my attention, Count Marsh. It becomes tough. So I'm playing with my rule. I'm just going with 3 runners, 1, 2, and 9. But it's a difficult race.
Very, very difficult. Race number 6 is one of those races where you're going to have to go as wide as your budget will allow. And just having a look at the betting. Number 1, Iron Will. Well, scratches number 8, Brave Voyager, firstly. But Iron Will at around 6-1, I think, is the value in the race. He was once upon a time a 94. I, in fact, tipped him last time out. I said the 1200 might be a little bit sharp for him, but he's the class package. And I think there was a sprint up, and they had this race in mind for him. So I think it could be a plan come together, and I'm with you. I'm number 1, Iron Will, quietly bullish at 6-1. Number 5, Crested Eagle, who's done exceptionally well for me one of these days. And then a horse like number 6, Count Marsh, and number 3, Brass Bell. They all have claims, but when it comes down to the crunch, as Dee said, throw in a couple of runners. But number 1, Iron Will, he is certainly the class package in the race, and no doubt that he's got the class to come through from that number 1 draw and get victory number 6. So we move on to race number 7 over 1,000 meters. Don't blink, they're going to jump, they're going to go. And let's see if you have the winning number when it comes to the judges' postings. Looking at race number 7, let's just have a quick look here. At this stage of the game, no scratchings. Number 1, Future Flow is your 5-2 favorite. Number 6, 21 May is currently at 28-10. 4, Andy Kugel, who D's like last time out, shortened 16-1 to 5-1. So a couple of the guys got the money beating Future Flow, and then Hurricane Cat is at 5-1. D's, let's start off from the top with number 1, Future Flow. This has been an absolute revelation.
Since the maiden win.
Since the maiden win, took a bit of this and this and that, down to the sprints. They've worked out this is a sprinter. He's such a big, strapping individual. They tried him up to 1,950 meters. And the big plus here is there's no false rail. Future Flow's a horse who cruises up and then hangs in. Rachel Venicker will have him on the fence. When they turn for home, that fence is there. He's got nowhere else to go unless he wants to play golf.
That's it, which is also a problem because the poly track is in between the golf course. So he's got a big problem. So that is it. So number 1, Future Flow. I think both Sheldon and I agreed. We had a chat about this off air that the horse, I mean, he took, 17 runs to crack the maiden. But since then, a win and 2 seconds. Michael has worked this horse out. So has Rachel Venicker. And I think things look ideal for this horse. And of course, Rachel's 1.5 kgs is from gold. It's gone to platinum. Number 1, Future Flow, the horse to beat. The one danger looks to be 21 May, who's also quick, and one could say a touch unlucky at his last 2 starts. You know, he needs things to go his way. It didn't. It's close-up finishes behind Master Bling and Kalahari Roller. One thing that really stands out with this horse, I'm looking at what he faced, 4 starts back.
Lunacam.
Whew. And that wasn't a bad run, considering the strength of the field. Against this type of field, even though he's carrying 61 kgs, I think he's the obvious danger. So for the place accumulator, I'll be safe with numbers 1 or 6 or 6 or 1 or maybe the boat. I just want your opinion on one horse here, just as an outsider. This horse, Imbele. I don't know what has gone wrong. For a horse to come up and win first time out, I know it was a scurry 800 meters, but he was a young horse. But then the handicapper gives him a rating of 95 for doing very little. I mean, you're running 4th in the Godolphin Barb Stakes and you got a rating of 95. I think we'll just have to wait for maybe a few more runs, Sheldon, before we can go with confidence for him to come down a bit more, maybe in the lower 80s or maybe when he hits the 70s. But these last few runs are just too bad to be true.
He's a horse that I've spoken to Louis Gerson about. First time out, we had a bet on him. They thought he'd win first time out. He'd been there to gallop, and he said he's a very smart individual.
Because Fine One has since trained on.
Type of horse that's going to go through and win a fair share of races. But as you mentioned, chalked up a 95. And then last time after that runs, the first time we've seen him come down significantly. He's come down to an 87. But I think he still needs another 5-6 points in the relief in the handicap system. I know the stable, they really rate him. He's a smashing looking specimen. And it's just a matter of time before he bounces back to his best. So when they find the right rating, he'll win.
I think let's just wait, have a look at Imbele, and we'll keep an eye on him as he goes down in the ratings. But both Sheldon and I agree, number 1, Future Flow, the horse to beat. The Danger, 21 May. And once you look past that, well, you are playing for the result. And it could be the result that you want if you are playing wide. Anything else before we close things up between numbers 1 and 6?
You're talking about the result. Number 2, Stanley Park.
Yeah.
This is a horse who off form, but if you look at his form, under 3 lengths behind Pray for Rain earlier on. Ran behind Don Carrari, 3.5 lengths behind Connery. Off form, last time out, a lot of excuses. But at 20-1, if you're looking for the big long shot, I think Stanley Park could be that horse.
Quartet's trifectas include
100%.
number 2, Stanley Park, and I'm going to suggest Trafalgar Square is a nice kicker for 3rd or 4th, maybe even 2nd in those quartets. So we've given you the principles, 1 and 6, the outsiders, 2 and 9. I will close things off in race number 8. It's the Hollywoodbets Bright Future Class 5. You'll have a look at the race card now in KZN. It's just like they have down in the Western Cape with the way they name their races and, of course, the class of races. We used to have divided handicaps in C and D division and merit-weighted handicaps with the merit rating being stated. You'll now see it's just like the Western Cape. This is a class 5 for fillies and mares over 1,200 meters, and the average rating here is a 65. So what this basically means, as we bring up the field, for fillies and mares, the benchmark here is going to be a 66 will carry 60 kgs. So that's how you work it out with these class 5 handicap, which is the lowest of the divisions. So number 1 drive-by is at 6-1. 3 Spirited Flight at 6-1. 4 Copacabana at 8-1. 6 Mama's Boy at 5-1. 7 Harley's Fate at 5-1. And then we got 9 Swiss Paradise at 5s and 10 Dawn Surprise at 6-1. And number 12 On Board has come down in the ratings in a big way from a 73 to a 65. May just need a bit more help from the handicapper, but a horse that I'll keep an eye on. No other scratchings, Sheldon? You've been keeping an eye on the scratchings. Race number 8.
All clear race number 8, no scratchings at this point in time, and it's one of those races due off at 1,700 hours, over 1,200 meters, that you could throw a blanket over the field.
If you're running in the pick 6 here,
you want to be the field.
Oh, you can't. I mean, how can you be confident if you're running in the pick 6 here? I mean, this is a tough race. The guy was running in the Hollywoodbets Punters Challenge competition at Fairview. and he had the right horse, Sharapova. Phew, you had to feel for him. You know, he got got done on the liner. It's tough. It's just like if you're running in the pick six now, you know, you'd rather just have the field. Yeah, I mean, 12 runners, sit back, whatever they are paying. You got the horses that got the maximum dividends, the horses that got the low dividends, but you are in.
100%. There's no stress going into the last race.
Yeah. So this race, are you suggesting the field?
I'm suggesting we go the field, race number 8, and I think that will be the way to go.
Okay, place accumulator numbers?
Place accumulator numbers. I'll go numbers 1, Drive By.
Agree.
Number 3, Spirited Flight.
We haven't copied notes. Agree.
Number 4, Copacabana.
Agree.
And then I'm going to throw in number 6, Mama's Baby.
No, you're joking. No, man. No, this can't be.
You'll see.
This can't be. And if I ask you for one more now, this is. If you give me this last number.
7.
No, 12. We got 4 out of 4.
Okay.
We didn't get the Powerball.
Didn't get the Powerball.
Yeah, we didn't get the Powerball, but we got 5. I mean, we got 4 out of 4. We didn't get the Powerball. But those are the numbers that we both agree with. Drive By, Spirited Flight, Copacabana, Mama's Boy, our top 4. And then maybe, as Sheldon mentioned, number 7, Harley's Fate. And I like number 12 on board. But it's a tough race. If I had to choose a roving banker in the field, it's going to be Spirited Flight. Has the cheek pieces on. A horse that is very, very good on a day. She's already won 3 races, but she needs a lot to go away. That's going to be my roving banker, number 3, Spirited Flight. Your roving banker for quartets, it'll be a nice quartet to possibly get the year off to a flying start.
I'll have to go with number 1, Drive By. Well, you'll see I've got the new equipment changes on for the last race. The first 7 races, we phoned a friend, we went 50-50, we asked the audience. So going into race number 8, I'm looking to see clearly now. So I've put the magnifying glasses on and I've asked the staff for permission to race with them. And hopefully race number 8.
It wasn't declared. At the beginning of the show, you didn't declare the equipment. You can't do it in running or in the parade ring. That is wrong.
I've got up until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning to declare it. So I'm declaring it now early for race number 8.
So are we calling it half cups, blinkers, pacifiers, or cheek pieces? What do you have on?
The whole lot.
Is it?
The whole lot. It's trying to find a winner. I'm trying to see deeper into the form lines. It's not really helping. It's just a mechanism.
Yeah.
It's
called getting old, Sheldon. That is what it's called. Ask me about it. You know, I've wear glasses most of my life, but Sheldon, that's called getting old. When you start wearing it at this late stage of your career, then it's called aging. Because I just have an eyesight problem. But welcome to the group of blinkers and pacifiers.
100% right. So, well, that's a little bit of fun on the sideline. And thanks very much to Dees and to all the players, the punters out there. It's been a wonderful year, and we're going to look forward to the new year. And hopefully it brings you all the joy, peace, happiness to you and the family. And hopefully the horses, they run fast.